to say, "You don't have to worry, Johnny. The Lord is riding with me." I was a kind of a smart aleck kid in those days, and I'd tell her, "Grandma, he jumped out 2 blocks ago." One time, her best friend, who was also in her 80s, went to the preacher in tears and told him she didn't know how to tell my grandma that she was afraid to ride to church with her. The pastor said he'd pray for her. You see, he was afraid of my grandma too, because of the second thing. My grandma would say whatever was on her mind, anywhere, anytime, in a loud voice. Not to be mean, she was kind, remember? Once at church, she asked a lady when she was going to finally have her baby. The lady said, "I'm not pregnant, Mrs. Taylor." My grandma said in a loud, kind voice, "Well, you sure look like you are." I loved my grandma very, very much. She'd laugh as much as anyone when I made fun of her driving in her candor. Of course, she thought I was joking. I figured she should know the truth, just like I figured politicians should know the truth about themselves. How else are they going to figure it out? Unless they hear it on the Zoom World Zone.
We'll see a lot of cloud cover around the area today, and we'll also have scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. And unlike a lot of July days, those could form or dissipate at almost any time of day. Some of those could produce some localized heavy rain. We'll look for highs around 80 to 85 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy, maybe a stray thunder shower with lows in the lower 70s. And we're likely to see some scattered showers and storms Tuesday, mostly midday into the afternoon. Highs about like today. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
This weekend, Tom Cruise was #1 at the box office in Mission Impossible Fallout. And just like Tom Cruise, you're listening to a morning show that also does its own stunts, like pouring hot coffee with their bare hands, running to the restroom during very short songs,
Out of my way!
and the biggest stunt of all, acting like they get along with everyone in the studio.
And we're back.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
It's back to reality.
Monday morning.
I don't work Mondays.
I was listening to the broadcast. I was wondering, what exactly is it?
This show will have laughter, tears, topless arguments, infections caused by jacuzzi water. It's really weird.
It's about to get a whole lot weird. It's showtime.
Song in my heart. And a chance to be yours forever. I couldn't feel more secure. I couldn't feel any better. Oh Lord, heaven knows how much I love you, how much it shows. Oh Lord, heaven knows. Every time we're together, your love is moving like lightning through me. It's such a beautiful feeling. Never hear a goodbye said to me. Oh Lord, heaven knows how much I love you, how much it shows. Oh Lord, heaven knows.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams. Don't forget, of course, this program is being seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. One click there will get you to where you want to be. If you're on a mobile device, your YouTube app will be in need. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search, and we'll pop up there and then click on today's show. If you're on your mobile device just needing audio and you can't get it on one of our radio stations, all 3 of them, the AM covering 23 counties, I think you should get it on the radio. But anyway, you just wanted a crystal clear digital audio stream on your phone. Well, you can get it that way with your TuneIn or iTunes app. Just put WEEB into the search, and we should pop right up there. If you're on our website, the app, the icon in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages that says listen live. That's the one in the upper right-hand corner of every page. Just click on that one time you're watching that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills. You know, I ran computer models last night, and through next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, it's Groundhog Day all the way through there. No let up on this heat and humidity. It just stays the same. So, you hear one day, you hear them all. It's going to be partly to mostly cloudy every day, scattered thunderstorms every day, around a 50-50 shot, 50 to 70% shot of rain, with a high in the mid to upper 80s, and heat indexes in the low 90s. So that's pretty much it, literally, over and over and over and over again. Dew points will be in the 72 to 75 range the whole time. So it's just going to be a muggy mess. And that's through a week from Wednesday, not this Wednesday, a week from Wednesday. That would put it to be the 11th.
Yikes, and that means all our plants, including our weeds, are going to be thriving for a week at least.
And it may be this way even beyond that. That's just as far as the computer models went. Of course, a lot can change in that amount of time. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are south-southwest at 3, visibility 8, statute miles, pressure is 3009, dew point 72, humidity 100%. Scattered showers and 72 degrees right now here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Is it still raining out there?
It's not.
Okay. Was when I came.
It is very, very wet, folks, including big puddles.
So, all right. They look even bigger when you're riding small cars. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, what looks like a puddle to a Explorer looks like a ocean to a Prius.
Yeah, Prius isn't actually very small, but I'll tell you, you know, the Prius
Small
was
tires.
originally considered as the ferry vehicle for the UK, between France and the UK, hauling vehicles, because of its ability to travel on water.
All right, 7:33 past the hour. Let's move on to morning sound bites this morning. We'll start out with the good news. A retired Marine in California has been driving into the wildfire areas to rescue stranded horses and every other kind of animal he can find. He even saved the life of a person. His name is Tucker Zimmerman, and he's been working with other volunteers, including Renee Uri, who also talks in this clip. I said this clip. Well, of course, it doesn't want to work. So we'll try it again. Here's your clip.
I'm not sure how many days it's been, but I've been doing this every day. Waking up in the morning, get home about midnight, and just keep on fighting the fire and evacuating animals.
Goats, dogs, made another run, got some more horses. There was an older gentleman, I'd say 70s, 80s, that didn't want to leave. I think we talked him into leaving. He was in tears.
All right, here's the question of the day for you. Should this police officer be fired? A guy riding his bike was stopped at a stop sign, and he was waiting for traffic to clear before he went. Meanwhile, all of a sudden he gets hit from behind by a police car, by a cop who was looking at his phone and didn't see him. So whatever was on the phone was much more important than what was in the road. The guy was standing still on his bike, like I said, waiting for traffic to clear, and the officer just ran right in, and here's the sound.
Whoa! You mother! Oh, look at your phone, officer. I got a text from another officer here. Give me a second. Oh, damn it. All right. Why are you texting? I don't care if you're texting. I wasn't texting. I was looking at my phone. Either way. Yeah, I know. That was my bad. Why are you doing that in a turn? I wasn't paying attention. I can walk. How's my arm look? Yeah, it's fine. How about this one? You're fine. There's no braces. That's the only braces you got right there. You got Band-Aids? Yep, I do.
Should he be canned?
Should he be canned?
Fired. What he preaches all day, you know.
Yeah, I think that's one of those you're held to a higher standard kind of thing, and we got to set the example for everybody else. So yeah, I would say.
Well, let's back it up. All right, so you catch him doing 50 and a 40, and you turn him in. Should he be fired?
That's a little more relative because there's the basic safety law, like Midland Road. Speed limit's 35. And I'm not advocating speeding, by the way, folks. We all just need to get with the new program because you're going to get a ticket there if you don't. But
after about 30 days, they'll start. But they should have put that orange bar above the stop sign to draw people's attention to it, which they didn't do. Not everybody reads the paper. Out-of-town guests don't see it. You know, and they have been coming for years.
So you just asked my opinion. I'd say in this case, the whole texting while driving thing is...
No, you said he wasn't texting. He was just looking at his phone.
Well, okay. Same difference, as far as I'm concerned. You're looking down at your phone, reading a text, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And so when you are the guy that is responsible for passing out tickets for that, and then you actually hit and injure somebody, yeah, I mean, a near miss, hey, I saw Officer so-and-so... texting, and then they check it out and find, okay, that you can punish, but when you actually hit somebody, I think you're going to have to pay the price for and set the example for everyone else. You may be a good guy.
You just wonder how often he's looking at that phone every day. And if
sure.
Obviously, if he's looking at it there, that wasn't the first time. It wasn't a unique time. It was an every time it goes off thing.
It's like when they catch a drunk driver on the road, that represents one out of many, many times that fool has been out there threatening everyone else with drunk driving.
Yep. I'd also look at his history of what he writes. If he's writing up a bunch of people for doing the same thing, we got an issue.
See, I disagree because just because I'm not writing you up for the sins that I commit, doesn't mean I'm not guilty of
I'm just saying, I would look at what he's writing for. If he's writing for a lot of stuff in that level of offense, then, yeah, he's got to be held accountable. Whether it should cost him his job and everything else, you got to look at all the mitigating factors, and it would definitely warrant time off without pay, but...
Well, I fully agree. A leader has to make that decision with considering mitigation and extenuation and yada, 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 but you asked me, just in the sterile question, that would be my answer.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you hold a line that strict to everything, you're going to be going through a whole lot of people. But it's got to be enough punishment there that others will say, wow, I don't want to go through that.
Right.
And I'm not going to do that. I'll leave my phone on the seat until I'm in a safe place to read it.
Right.
And that's the message you got to send.
And just taking the hypothetical out, if the other officer was texting him about something going on right at the moment where, one officer is dealing with an angry person at a door who's armed with a hammer and, whatever. I mean, yes, you got to consider mitigating and extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, if it's just friendly chit-chat with his wife, he's just killing time, we got another issue.
Now, if the guy sent him a funny picture, you'd have to decide, was it really, really funny, or was it only partially funny?
Yeah.
If it was really funny, you might give him a buy.
Then here in North Carolina, it's up there at North Hills Mall, as a matter of fact, 74-year-old guy was having trouble with his phone, so he took it to the Verizon store, and they were closed. Maybe there were people inside, but they were officially closed, and they wouldn't open the door for him. So he got ticked, rammed his car through the door.
What is wrong with people?
Here's part of the 911 call.
Northfield Shopping Center. It's the Verizon store. A guy just drove his car right into. He's coming out. Back up. Back up. He said, my damn phone's not working. I need help open this damn door. And I said, I'm going to go up here to see what's going on with this. He got in his car and just drove right in the damn door.
He was using profanity, trying to be let into the store, demanding to be let into the store, and was obviously upset. It was very loud. Interaction through the glass and banging on the door. The employees all moved away and further into the store and behind other barricades to make sure they didn't get hurt.
We should note that, to our knowledge, this is the first time a space alien has ever been willing to go on the air and witness an event.
Protecting the innocent by disguising their voice.
Well, why would you need to protect yourself from that guy?
If I worked at a Verizon store, I want to be protected all the time, as lousy services they give. I mean, that's the most worthless phone company there is, but that's just me, because I've had a lot of experience of their crappy service. And I'm so glad to get off of them, I couldn't stand it.
I've got a plus or minus.
I mean, the day my contract was up, I was away from them.
I got a plus or minus. I'm considering other contracts now. I'm going through and looking at stuff, but plus and minus on Verizon. When I went to Canada recently, they make it very easy when you go across the border. They send you a little text, and you can opt in to their international roaming plan, which I think is limited to, this particular one, limited to Mexico and Canada. But you just click yes, and then any day that you roam, they charge you $5 for the next 24 hours. Whatever you're doing, it's a $5 additional charge that day. The downside is that 2 years ago,
I'd hate for them to give you service that under your current plan. No, here's an opportunity to get you again.
Well, and I don't know what international tariffs or whatever. I don't know. But so, I'll accept that part. But what amazed me was 2 years ago when I did that, it was $2. 2 years later, it's $5. Now, that's quite a leap.
See, you're wearing your gay pants again, so everybody can see your legs all over the place.
Well, yeah, shorts are commonly called gay pants. Now, I need you to know.
I just think men's legs are ugly, and you don't ever see me wear shorts.
Well, I don't really
ever.
I don't really look like you do.
And I have good looking.
Thank you for noticing.
I have good looking men's legs.
You just said men's legs
but I think they're ugly. I think all men's legs are ugly. Who won't see a hairy leg? Ugh.
Well, a lot of women don't think all men's legs are ugly. But I think most women would agree with you, mine are. But you know what? I don't wear shorts. Look, I had Lowe's Foods call.
I mean, you can always top it off with men's sandals. One shoe that should never have been invented.
Some Birkenstocks. Lowe's Foods called me because they had reports of chicken legs, and they said, well, your legs are very nice bird legs. We are chicken experts, and those are not chicken legs. So I was off the hook there.
In fact, we have, let me see if I got to find the soundbite right quick. They come out with a new invention as far as shoes go.
And I don't want to burst your bubble, but I do not wear shorts for you, Steve.
These are...
if you click on YouTube Live, look up WEEB Live, you can see, not YouTube Live, but YouTube. Look up WEEB 990 Live. You can see my gorgeous legs.
Now they've come out with men's, sandal boots. Boots with the sandal at the foot.
That's going to be a huge hit.
Now, who wants to look at a man's foot? They're ugly. Ugly. And they stick them in a sandal and put them in your face. I mean...
Is that strictly fashion, or is there some fashion? I mean, is there some practical thing to boot? Can't be.
I'd be strictly fashion.
Got to be strictly runway stuff.
But, yeah.
Oh,
it's just
Steve?
me. I don't want to see a man's leg. I don't want to see his feet.
Steve, it's on the runway. Appropriate response, please.
So anyway,
here comes the designer running down this.
Let's see what else we got. Did that. Let's see. Oh, it's right here in front of me. I didn't play it. This is the guy in Missouri who's making sandals out of cowboy boots and selling them to people from Texas. Here's where you buy them if you have awesome taste and don't care about who knows it.
Whenever I first came up with the idea, I was in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I saw a guy wearing a pair of cowboy boots, and I thought to myself, with the heat, the humidity, I thought it would be kind of funny to come back home, and I took an old pair of my cowboy boots and a pocket knife, and I started cutting them up. The flip-flop style, which is, the toe piece in the middle. And then we also do a double strap design where there's just two straps that go on either side. Texas being that that cowboy, Lone Star, country state, we get a lot of attention. Definitely Texas is number one. We sell more to Texas than we do any other state.
Yeah, nothing says, man, like sandal boot.
I gotta say, I can't think there would be a big market in the straight community for that.
I can see you in the line dance line now, wearing your sandal boots.
Yeehaw, Stephen.
And now the women will come out and say, oh, I love them. But the men, real men, will say, he's not a cowboy.
By the way, the Air Force Academy now has the first openly gay cadet football player.
The what?
The Air Force Academy has I think he's a halfback. First openly gay.
I don't think anybody cares about that, whether their sexual orientation about...
Well, we were talking about sandal boots. I don't think too many straight men are going to be wearing sandal boots, is all I'm saying.
I may be proved wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
I may be proved wrong. I just can't see the Marlboro Man wearing it.
I don't think you're wrong, Steve.
What was it? The average Marlboro... They've gone through several Marlboro Men in their ad campaign for years. Now they're all in print ad, obviously, but... most of them die of lung cancer, and they find real cowboys who do sit around campfires and the like, and this is just a rugged man's man cowboy, and I just don't see him in sandal boots.
Hey, pass the smoke, Steve!
You get one of them briars under your feet, it's not going to feel too good.
Well, look, cowboy boots...
Bad enough when it's under your saddle.
Cowboy boots were made for working, so... yeah. Anyway. Hey, I'm sure you know this, but a lot of people don't. I know because I checked it out over the weekend. The reason why in a thunderstorm you are much, much safer in your car has nothing to do with the rubber tires and everything to do with the fact that you are surrounded by a steel cage. Now, as long as you're not touching that cage, which you're not because you've got flooring and whatnot under your feet, but the lightning travels around the cage, commonly known as a Faraday cage. It also protects against EMP, which is why I'm having my house completely encased in steel. And and the other part, because I heard thunder this morning, the other part is if you can hear thunder, as they say, if you can hear thunder, you can be hit by lightning. So there you go. If you're going jogging or walking your car, do it in your car. I mean, walking your dog, do it in your car this morning.
Wait a minute. Well, we just had one of those moments, and Matt knows what it was.
Most of these are not legitimate, but I'll give you a legitimate Twilight Zone on.
We're going down in the weeds, off the road, down the bank, into a Twilight Zone moment. Okay. Don't know where that came from. All right.
I heard thunder this morning.
I get that, but we weren't anywhere close to that subject matter. Boom. And all of a sudden, it blurts out. Like somebody hurling on my table.
Did not hurl on your table.
Well, if you've never heard this before, now's the time. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys once recorded a rap song way back in 1991 before it was the in thing. It was never released, but it's up on YouTube. It's called Smart Girls, and it's all about how he's now attracted to smart women after spending his whole life only caring about looks.
My name is Brian and I'm the man. I write hit songs with the wave of my hand. Songs that surf and sun and sand. I make great music with my band. Songs to dance to and songs to join. 'Cause I'm the original Beach Boy. Everybody's my son. Eastern USA. All the songs I used to write talked about girls who were too bright. I got around what I was looking for, I never found. But time moves on and I've seen the light. Intelligent chicks are dynamite. When I grew up to be a man, now some guys like the fashion types, and some guys just want archetypes. I'm no different from the rest. I left hips and legs and breasts, but strictly on.
Please don't turn it off, Steve.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I mean, for not turning it off earlier.
Well, that's why they put me in charge.
That sounded like a PC, through and through PC thing from the early 90s.
Demi Moore they had a roast of Bruce Willis over the weekend. Demi Moore was a surprise
a couple weeks ago
guest at the Bruce Willis roast and joked that their marriage wasn't the biggest failure. For those of you too young to remember, she was Bruce's first wife, and she's the mother of his oldest kids. This from Comedy Central's Bruce Willis roast, which was yesterday on the Comedy Channel.
Are you surprised?
Yes.
Yes, I knew he would be. I mean, even though I went over everything yesterday, I knew he'd forget. But I was there for some special moments, like groundbreaking. I mean, when Bruce, he got his career-breaking moment in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed really odd at the time. I mean, he's big action star, like doing a little indie film. But Bruce went over to Harvey Weinstein's hotel, and I don't know, he came back swinging that ball gag, and then he said, I got the part. You know, after our divorce, he said that he considered the end of our marriage his biggest failure. But Bruce, don't be so hard on yourself. You have had much bigger failures. I mean, Planet Hollywood, Hudson Hawk, Striking Distance, come on, campaigning for Michael Dukakis. I mean, turning down Clooney's role in Ocean's 11 to focus on playing the harmonica. I mean, I could go on, but they said it's a 2-hour show.
Yeah, that's like an ex-wife hacking on you.
Strikes home.
Or she left him to go be with Ashton Kutcher. You know, she wanted a little boy look.
You got to trade him in on the newer model, man.
Martha Stewart, Dennis Rodman also laid into him.
Dennis Rodman, where do I begin? If you had told me back in the 90s that Dennis Rodman would be negotiating a nuclear arms agreement in 2018, I would have said, Dennis Rodman is alive in 2018. Unlike everyone here tonight, I personally have a great appreciation for Bruce's music. I play it at all my parties when it's late, and I want everyone to leave immediately.
There you go.
Those roasts are pretty fun.
Bruce
not
got
for
his
children, though, I'll tell you that.
Bruce got his revenge when he got to roast on Martha and Kevin Pollak.
My friend, ex-con Martha Stewart.
Yeah, baby. If anyone can survive in prison, it's someone who can toss a salad. Martha is also a humanitarian. When she heard about the kids at the border living in tiny cages, she sent them sewing machines. What's wrong with that? Kevin Pollak, welcome to the party, pal. You owe your whole career to the guys you impersonate. You've made more money doing Schwarzenegger than his maid. And not to mention, you're better at cleaning houses.
There you go. Some of the fun from people who wrote the lines for them.
Well, yeah, but, you know, it's a show. It's a good time, that's all.
Yeah, we'll be right back with the punchline right after this.
Oh, come on.
5-minute commercial break.
Yeah.
And he tells another joke right before the punchline. We'll be right back with the punchline right after this. That's how they get you. Things we need to know today so we do not sound stupid. Omarosa's Trump tell-all book coming out August 14th. Yeah, she rides his coattail, finally gets fired, and she doesn't like it, so she got a tell-all book coming out now from one of his loudmouth employees who was a nothing until he came along. Scientists spotted a cross between a whale and a porpoise off the coast of Hawaii last year. America's Got Talent judge Mel B has been banned from talking about a marriage to Eddie Murphy in her upcoming tell-all book, but she will dish out the stuff on ex-husband Stephen Belafonte. Those two Georgia police officers who were caught on video flipping a virtual coin to determine if a speeding motorist would go to jail were fired last week. For the record, Cheesecake Factory is celebrating National Cheesecake Day with 50% off a slice of cheesecake all day long. It's limited to one per customer. Not that we have one around here. Actress Bridget Nielsen says she's worried that she'll be mistaken for a grandmother when her daughter begins going to school. Bridget, of course, had a baby 5 months ago at the age of 55.
Steve, that's Brigitte.
Whatever. The U.S. Army veteran is dead after he allegedly brutally stabbed his fiancée at his home in Colorado Springs. It would happen while they were arguing over the guest list for their wedding.
Gee, Gad. Was he stationed at Fort Riley? Or, correction,
I don't know.
Fort Carson?
Lindsay Lohan's stepmother was arrested in Florida early Friday on battery charges.
I get it, battery charges.
A Facebook investor has drawn up a new proposal to oust Mark Zuckerberg as chairman 10 months before the social networking giant's next shareholder meeting. And this fall, Hillary Clinton is going to guest star on an episode of Madam Secretary.
Oh, good for you.
Currently, rainy skies, 72 degrees. Your full forecast is up next, followed by all your news, sports, and weather. It's 8 o'clock.
We'll see a lot of cloud cover around the area today, and we'll also have scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. And unlike a lot of July days, those could form or dissipate at almost any time of day. Some of those could produce some localized heavy rain. We'll look for highs around 80 to 85 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy, maybe a stray thunder shower with lows in the lower 70s. And we're likely to see some scattered showers and storms Tuesday, mostly midday into the afternoon. Highs about like today. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump upping the ante in his fight for a wall along the border with Mexico. On Twitter yet again, the president writes, "I would be willing to shut down government if the Democrats do not give us the votes for border security, which includes the wall." Also making the case for merit-based immigration, Mr. Trump writes, "Must get rid of lottery, catch and release, etc. Finally go to a system of immigration based on merit." Billionaire industrialist and conservative political activist Charles Koch warns that a recession could be triggered by Trump administration trade policies, tells reporters that protectionism at any level is detrimental. Asked to respond to that, a White House spokeswoman describing the president as a free trader. 2 people under arrest. They're suspected of looting the homes of those who were forced to flee the ferocious wildfire in Redding, California. The Shasta County blaze blamed for at least 6 deaths, at least half a dozen people still unaccounted for. Hot and dry conditions have hindered the firefighting effort, but crews now say they're starting to make some progress in their struggle to contain the massive Carr wildfire. While gasoline prices have dropped about 3 cents over the past 2 weeks.
The current price is 59 cents higher than it was 1 year ago. Also, the recent GDP growth didn't really translate into a lot of jobs growth. Gasoline demand, therefore, is not growing. It seems to be stuck.
That's oil industry analyst Trilby Lundberg. She says that the current national average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas, $2.91. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures are mixed. Dow futures currently up about 22 points, while NASDAQ futures are down 14, and S&P futures off 1 point. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780. Don't wait. Call now. 800-601-7780. 800-601-7780.
More than 200 hikers trapped on a mountain on the Indonesian tourist island of Lombok following a deadly earthquake, now making their way down to safety.
An operation to get the remaining hikers off the mountain is underway, involving hundreds of personnel from the military and the police. Dramatic footage filmed by guides at the summit when the earthquake struck shows huge landslides around the crater lake. Amongst the group waiting to be rescued is the body of a young Indonesian hiker who was killed by falling rocks. A spokesperson for the National Disaster Agency says the other climbers are in good health.
That's BBC's Rebecca Henschke. 2 American cyclists have been killed in a car crash in the ex-Central Soviet Republic of Tajikistan. The country's interior ministry says an unidentified driver rammed in the car into a group of foreign bikers. News and analysis, townhall.com. Minneapolis authorities have released body cam video from 2 police officers involved in the fatal shooting of a 31-year-old black man. Mayor Jacob Fry says he thought it was important for the city to get the video out there ASAP.
Although in the past video footage has not been released for sometimes a period of 4 to 6 to 7 months, we felt that the community wanted to see the evidence, and we felt that transparency was of the utmost importance.
The incident prompted demonstrations, and community advocates have been urging swift release of the body cam video. Senator Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All plan comes with a hefty price tag. A George Mason University study says Sanders' plan would increase health care spending by $32.6 trillion over 10 years. The study also says it would require historic tax hikes to fund the plan. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The drug problems we have in Moore County is because of the dealers and the traffickers who are the end representatives of the cartels. And they've got to be our major focus. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and I'm backing Steve Adams for sheriff. Wait until you hear this. For years, fentanyl-related overdoses in the U.S. never exceeded a few thousand. By September of 2017, they had accounted for more than 26,000 deaths. It's not the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies that are killing us. Chinese and Mexican and other nations' cartels are producing fentanyl-like compounds called analogs. That allows them to exploit discrepancies in the laws in the U.S. and China and other nations. And that product, along with the other stuff they produce, is what's killing Americans. And that's why it's paramount to concentrate our efforts on removing all dealers and traffickers from Moore County. Let them go somewhere else to peddle their murderous product. Steve Adams is the exact right man at the exact right time to lead this fight. He'll surround himself with the best chief deputy in the best department possible, then he'll take the fight to the street where it belongs. Steve knows that also means providing protection and education to our schools. Enough with the talk about a war on drugs. It's time to get serious. You'll be hearing a lot more about Steve's plan to combat this evil that's slowly working its way into our community. And again, it's just one more reason why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Hey, Jerry, have you seen the new menu at the Hickory Tavern?
Seen it. Try to keep up, will you, Charles? I've already been sampling.
Well, don't just sing it. Bring it. Tell me about it.
For starters, you've got to try the Hickory Tavern's new flatbread. The barbecue chicken flatbread is my favorite. Roasted chicken, barbecue sauce, red onion, jack and cheddar, then drizzled with sour cream and cilantro. And here's something you won't find anywhere else. The Hawaiian pork, yes, pork brie-bite, marinated for 48 hours in a pineapple, ginger, soya, and sesame recipe, served with tavern greens and fries, and reasonably priced too. Hey, where you going?
Where do you think, Jerry? Time to fuel up at the Hickory.
I got you blocked in. I bet I beat you there.
As we always say, the Hickory Tavern. Come for the game. Stay for the food.
Fields Plumbing and Heating has served Moore County since 1948. Actually, the founder, J. Ellis Fields, started in the business as a boy in 1907 with Pinehurst Inc., who provided plumbing and heating services to Pinehurst homes and local hotels. Today, Fields Plumbing and Heating continues to provide superior heating service, plumbing technology, and customer service at the best possible price. When you need help, call the company with the most experience. Fields Plumbing and Heating, 910-949-3232. 949-3232.
It's the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickup on the road today. The 2018 Chevy Silverado. Strong, capable, and built to withstand the test of time. When you need to get things done, you need a Silverado. Right now, get $11,505 in total value savings on a 2018 Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star 4-wheel drive when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads in your new Silverado from Clark. Experience the Clark Cadillac difference. Come pick out yours today at Clark Cadillac on Dundee Road in Pinehurst.
Tired of Republicans and Democrats combined? How about some free thinking anchored in the Constitution and the Declaration? Hi, this is Dave Zanotti from the Public Square. You can join in that kind of thought every day at thepublicsquare.com, and you can listen in every week as we look for real answers to real questions. Listen in Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB.
MCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. A Malaysia-led independent investigation report released today more than 4 years after Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappeared highlights shortcomings in the government's response and raised the possibility of intervention by a third party, such as someone holding the pilots hostage. There was no evidence of abnormal behavior or stress in the two pilots, though. Saganab Shah is the sister of the MH370 captain and feels the report clears her brother's name.
Nothing negative about his character, nothing negative about the nature of his work, his professional record, his family conditions, nothing negative.
Officials at Hanging Rock State Park in Stokes County say a teenager fell 20 to 30 feet from a cliff yesterday. No word on his condition. It was just about a year ago that Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands, packed with tourists, were thrust into darkness when a construction crew of the Bonner Bridge cut a primary power line. Business owner Anna Warner tells NCT News that there was a great deal of uncertainty.
And so then it became apparent it was a bigger issue. And then it became a very big issue because we weren't sure when it would come back on. There were different stories. It could take days. It could take weeks.
A car fire has burned nearly 150 square miles in California. It's currently 17% contained. About 40,000 people have been forced from their home. Carter Evans is there.
Authorities are facing another problem here as well, looting. So far, 3 people have been arrested, including one man in camouflage and carrying a loaded gun, according to police.
Many small businesses are hurting for workers. That's the assessment from Greg Thompson with the North Carolina chapter of the National Federation of Independent Business. He argues that demand will push up wages without government involvement.
We oppose an increase in minimum wage because the NFIB feels, and the members of NFIB feel, to let the marketplace set minimum wage.
You're listening to NCN News.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. So here's a 26-second message of encouragement.
Hi, I'm Stacy. Look, I've been there. It's tough. And I just want to say, if you find yourself feeling negative, use it as motivation. Let it be like the fuel in the fire to keep you going. Because the best is yet to come. Seriously, you're capable of great things. Things you probably haven't even dreamed of yet. So don't quit now. See you at graduation.
Do you have 26 seconds to convince a student to stay at their desk? Now you can share your message of support at boostup.org. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
The State Highway Patrol says 3 people died when a speeding car ran off the road and hit trees in North Carolina. Sergeant John Edwards of the Highway Patrol tells the Fayetteville Observer that the wreck happened over the weekend outside of Lillington and Harnett County. He says the car appeared to be traveling more than 100 miles per hour. This morning, WREL TV news anchor Jeff Hogan is recovering after a weekend body surfing accident along the coast. He's in a Wilmington hospital where he's recovering from head and neck injuries.
Hey there, folks. Wanted you to hear from me. I'm going to be off the air for a short period of time while I'm on the mend from a little body surfing accident down at the beach.
He missed the royal wedding. Now he misses his daughter.
Thomas Markle says his daughter Megan has cut him out of her life, that he hasn't spoken to her in 10 weeks, that she changed her phone number, and he can't even get a hold of her royal aides. With her marriage to Prince Harry, the former American actress is now the Duchess of Sussex. Speaking to the Mail on Sunday, the 73-year-old Markle predicts Megan will have a baby in the next year, and he'll be denied knowing his grandchild. He believes he's been frozen out because of statements he's made to the media. Markle claims it would be better for Meghan if he died. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
An American icon is turning 50, and we hear from CBS's Jim Taylor, Big Mac is still going strong.
You know what we're talking about. The Big Mac, launched in 1968 with an unforgettable TV jingle. The recipe for it has not changed. While all around the Golden Arches, change is swirling. The company's struggling to stay relevant. McDonald's actually reducing the number of its outlets across America. Hey, let's do that again.
To all beef, patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
McDonald's Big Mac. Jim Taylor, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We should start the week with mostly cloudy to cloudy skies today, along with scattered to, in places, numerous showers and thunderstorms, a few of those with localized heavy downpours. We'll look for highs around 80 to 85. Tonight it'll be mostly cloudy. We can't rule out a thunder shower or two with lows in the lower 70s. Then on Tuesday, more clouds than sun with scattered showers and storms likely, especially midday into the afternoon. Highs tomorrow again about 80 to 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, it's mostly cloudy, 72 degrees. Few pop-up showers here and there. Humidity 100%. 2.72, pressure 3009. Winds are calm. Visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning. Law enforcement officers shot and killed a man early Saturday morning in Aberdeen after responding to a domestic situation. As according to the Sheriff's Department, deputies were called to a residence at 106 Forest Place just before 3 in the morning for a report of an incident involving several family members. A short time after the deputies arrived, the suspect started shooting at the officers. The officers returned fire, killing the man. The suspect was identified as Arthur Kemsey Garner, 33 years of age. 4 deputies and a Pinehurst police officer who initially responded to the call returned fire. Their names have not been released. None of the officers were injured. Officers and deputies responded to the call were told that a man with the gun was pointing the weapon outside a window. Deputies called in Aberdeen and Pinehurst police for backup. The shooting occurred around 3:20 in the morning. The SBI is investigating. The 2 unidentified men are being sought in connection with an attempted armed robbery at a Lakeview business. The incident happened around 1 in the morning Friday morning outside of Fishy Sweepstakes in the 200 block of Camp Easter Road. The business is an internet sweepstake business. No one was injured in connection with the incident. Photographs of the suspects have been shared on Nixle. Anyone with information concerning the identity of these 2 suspects should call their nearest law enforcement agency. And the sheriff's office is warning residents about a phone scam in which callers pretend to be law enforcement officers demanding money. The sheriff's office has received reports of calls from people who say they were contacted by a deputy. The caller insists money is needed to clear up warrants to get someone off the hook for missing jury duty or other court and sheriff office business. Victims are told money must be loaded on some sort of prepaid card and the number sent to them to clear the issue. The sheriff said these calls are not coming from Moore County Sheriff's Office or any valid agency. They are all scams trying to get money from people. The sheriff's office will never call you demanding money for any reason. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but hang on, here comes your latest in sports. Right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It's 8:18.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Kyle Busch stormed from the bottom half of the field at Pocono for his 49th career NASCAR Cup win and the 6th of this season. Busch won Sunday's Cup race after post-qualifying inspection dropped him to the back of the field. Runner-up Daniel Suarez, who's the first Mexican driver to win the pole for a Cup race, said he was pleased with his performance but wishes he could have won.
As you know, we've been struggling lately, the last couple months or so, but still very proud of my guys. Like I said already to them, second place is good, but I didn't care if it was second, third, or fifth. I really wanted to win.
The race was red flagged with 6 laps left after a violent wreck by Darrell Wallace Jr., who was released from the Track Medical Center. The Panthers on Sunday held a second consecutive day of practice in full pads. Then after Saturday's first padded practice, saw right tackle Darrell Williams carted off the field with a torn MCL and right knee dislocation. Ron Rivera on Sunday wasn't able to confirm when Williams could return.
We'll see. I mean, we just started the whole process with him, and so we'll go from there. I mean, it's still early. We haven't seen all the results and everything, so I guess when we know, you guys will know.
Rivera added that Williams was optimistic after his consultation with doctors that he wasn't suffering from a torn ACL. Luke Kuechly's words are making fans of defense happy. On Sunday, he said the current Panthers linebacker room is the best he's ever been a part of. It includes himself, Thomas Davis, Shaq Thompson, Dave Mayo, Ben Jacobs, Jared Norris, but Kuechly was actually talking about the rookies, Andre Smith, along with Jermaine Carter Jr., and Chris Frey. Tripper Jones and Jim Tomei headlined a class of the annual Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Cooperstown Sunday. The class also included Vladimir Guerrero, Trevor Hoffman, and former Detroit Tigers teammates Jack Morris and Alan Trammell. This is NCN Sports.
In June, North Carolinians began receiving new Medicare cards, and scammers posing as Medicare representatives were already making calls demanding a processing fee. Other fraudsters are trying to get bank account information by saying a refund is owed. Remember, Medicare never charges a processing fee, never asks enrollees for a bank account number, and no refunds are owed. Protect yourself with AARP Fraud Watch Network. Learn more about this free service at states.aarp.org/stop fraud.
Darlington Raceway. This is tradition.
The white flag flies for Bobby Allison.
This is iconic.
Petty appears to be smoking, and Cale now is pulling away.
This is legendary.
Truex is in the wall, and it's Hamlin going to the lead.
Come celebrate 7 decades of NASCAR at Darlington Raceway this Labor Day weekend. Purchase your tickets today by calling 866-459-RACE or visit darlingtonraceway.com.
South Carolina is just right.
Top-ranked Dustin Johnson shot a 6-under-66 Sunday for a 3-stroke victory over Wee Kim and Byung-Hun An at the RBC Canadian Open in Ontario. Miguel Angel Jimenez won the Senior British Open. He finished 12 under for the tournament, edging out defending champion Bernard Longer. John Isner won the BB&T Atlanta Open for the 5th time in 6 years Sunday, beating fellow American Ryan Harrison in the final for the 6th straight year. The top-seeded Isner beat the 8th-seeded Harrison in 3 sets at Atlantic Station to join Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe, Andre Agassi, and Pete Sampras as the only Americans to win an ATP Tour event 5 times or more. He won the Atlanta tournament after his 6-hour, 36-minute loss with a 26-24 5th set to Kevin Anderson at Wimbledon in the semifinals. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Aberdeen Prescription Shop is one of the best independent pharmacies. Despite the chain stores, customers prefer Aberdeen Prescription Shop for its personal service, drive-through window, and free delivery. All major insurance is accepted, including TRICARE. Order your prescriptions online at AberdeenRxShop.com or call 944-1313, 944-1313, or visit the Town and Country Shopping Center on US 1. Aberdeen Prescription Shop.
Just what the doctor ordered.
This is Hand On Golf for another golf tip brought to you by Golf Augusta. Are you a digger or a scooper? Stay tuned and I'll offer help for diggers.
We just received a big shipment of Skechers golf shoes for both men and ladies. Skechers are the most comfortable golf shoes on the market today. Just ask Matt Kuchar. Ever wanted to play a PGA Tour course? Now you can. Just added to our TrackMan launchpad is Muirfield Village, the course that Jack Nicklaus founded and hosts to the Memorial Tournament on the PGA Tour each year. The course is long. You might try a different set of tees. Have fun, play better golf. Golf Augusta is on US 1 in Southern Pines.
If you tend to take a big, deep divot and hit behind the ball, you are a digger. Your club path is too steep, too shallow your path. Set up close with your feet, hips, and shoulders, and swing your arms around your body. Take practice swings just touching the grass. Once you find the right balance between steep and shallow, you will compress the club face into the ball, into the ground, which gives you stopping power on fast greens. Stay tuned for more golf tips and unleash your potential with Golf Augusta's TrackMan Launchpad. Real golf, real distance.
Metaphorically speaking, who is driving your car? You or the daily stress that comes from living in this modern world? Meditation has been scientifically proven to be beneficial in treating stress and stress-related illnesses. Neurofeedback is a way to measure that process and improve your response to stress. Neurofeedback addresses a host of issues like ADD, anxiety, ADHD, chronic pain, depression, migraines, sleep disorders, and more. Right Chiropractic offers neurofeedback as another tool in a host of powerful healing technologies. Take back the wheel and get on the straight road with neurofeedback. Call Right Chiropractic for a discussion on how the neurofeedback method can benefit you. Call 673-2225.
If the menu is getting a little stale at your favorite restaurant, the Hickory Tavern has a fresh summer solution starting with our newest appetizer, fried Florida grouper fingers, tender grouper fillets served up with chili lime crema and lemon, perfectly paired with a Hickory build-your-own salad. And now the Hickory has tender fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Summer means seafood, and the Hickory has you covered with shrimp, oysters, and crab legs. The Hickory Tavern. Come for the game, stay for the summer food.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. My grandma was one of the sweetest and the kindest ladies who ever lived. She had 2 traits, though, that no matter how many times someone told her, she'd never believe them. One was her driving. She was the worst driver who ever lived. I don't care who came to your mind just now. My grandma was worse. She used to say, "You don't have to worry, Johnny. The Lord is riding with me." I was a kind of a smart-aleck kid in those days, and I'd tell her, "Grandma, he jumped out 2 blocks ago." One time, her best friend, who was also in her 80s, went to the preacher in tears and told him she didn't know how to tell my grandma that she was afraid to ride to church with her. The pastor said he'd pray for her. You see, he was afraid of my grandma, too, because of the second thing. My grandma would say whatever was on her mind, anywhere, anytime in a loud voice. Not to be mean, she was kind, remember? Once at church, she asked a lady when she was going to finally have her baby. The lady said, "I'm not pregnant, Mrs. Taylor." My grandma said in a loud, kind voice, "Well, you sure look like you are." I love my grandma very, very much. She'd laugh as much as anyone when I made fun of her driving and her candor. Of course, she thought I was joking. I figured she should know the truth, just like I figured politicians should know the truth about themselves. How else are they going to figure it out? Unless they hear it on the Zoom Walt Zone.
We'll see a lot of cloud cover around the area today, and we'll also have scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. And unlike a lot of July days, those could form or dissipate at almost any time of day. Some of those could produce some localized heavy rain. We'll look for highs around 80 to 85 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy, maybe a stray thunder shower with lows in the lower 70s. And we're likely to see some scattered showers and storms Tuesday, mostly midday into the afternoon. Highs about like today. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
This weekend, Tom Cruise was #1 at the box office in Mission Impossible Fallout. And just like Tom Cruise, you're listening to a morning show that also does its own stunts, like pouring hot coffee with their bare hands, running to the restroom during very short songs, out of my way, and the biggest stunt of all, acting like they get along with everyone in the studio.
We're back.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
It's back to reality. Monday morning.
I don't work Mondays.
I was listening to the broadcast. I was wondering, what exactly is it?
This show will have laughter, tears, topless arguments, infections caused by jacuzzi water.
It's really weird. It's about to get a whole lot weirder.
It's showtime.
In the morning with the sunshine in your eyes and the smell of flowers blooming fills the air. Your mind is filled with the thoughts of a certain someone that you love. Your life is filled with joy when she is there. Love can make you happy if you find someone who cares to give a lifetime to you and who has a love to If you think you found someone you'll love forevermore, then it's worth the price you'll have to pay. You have to hold him forever, but forever is the phrase that means I love you found is going to stay. Love can make you happy if you find someone.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's relaxed sidekick. Everybody now. Love.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. If you're on your mobile device, your YouTube app will do the same. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search. If Leader Man, all one word. If you're just looking for a crystal clear digital audio stream, that's available to you at talk973.com, upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages. There's an icon that says Listen Live. One tap of that, you're listening that quick, or you can get it with your mobile device using TuneIn, iTunes, many other platforms will do it. Just put WEEB into your search.
Turn the music back on, Steve.
Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area, it's going to be just Groundhog Day from now through next Wednesday. That's as far as the models will go. It's going to be partly to mostly cloudy, thunderstorms. Highs in the mid to upper 80s, lows in the low to mid 70s. Thunderstorms probably can pop up at any time, so can showers throughout the whole period. So it's Groundhog Day. We had rain this morning, stopped. Now you can expect it any time today again. We got some in our radar right now, just north of Fort Bragg. And some to the west of us, over there at the highway, what's that, 73 that goes north and south there? Some are over there right now, so we're kind of wedged between them. And this is just going to go on forever, with dew points in the low to mid-70s throughout the whole period.
What's going on in Moose Lake, Manitoba?
I have no idea.
All right.
Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure 3009, dew point at a sticky 72, humidity maxed out 100%. It's mostly cloudy. 72 degrees right down here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. 8:31 past the hour, and yes, it's that time once again.
And now it's time for Yes! 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 Or BS! Don't get me back to good blues.
All right, time for another round of Yes or BS. This is where we'll give Matt just an easy little statement, and he's got a 50-50 shot. All he's got to do is say, why, yes, Steve, that is absolutely true. Or no, Steve, it's total BS.
You try this every week, hoping someday, finally, you'll be able to catch me not knowing the answer. And good luck.
That's pretty often. The topic is famous people who are celebrating birthdays today. Famous people who are celebrating birthdays today. Arnold Schwarzenegger turned 71 today. In the first Terminator, he tried to get James Cameron to change his famous line from "I'll be back" to "I will be back."
Yes, that's true.
Well, let's hear it from Arnold himself, shall we? Come on.
Let's not hear it.
Tell us a story about the Terminator. You almost ruined the signature line. I'll be back. What's that about?
Well, it was, I could not pronounce really well this "I'll," so I just kept saying to Jim Cameron, maybe I should just say, "I will be back," as it sounds more like a machine. I will be back. And he says, no. He says, look, I don't tell you how to act. Don't tell me how to write. I wrote the line, "I'll be back." So why don't you just say this? So I said, but it sounds really weird when I say it with my German accent. He says, I don't care. He says, let's just say 10 different ways, and then one will work. And so that's what we ended up doing. And then when the movie came out, I remember I was here in New York for the promotion, and I walked down on Park Avenue. And it's
yeah. It goes on and on from there.
A lot of stuff he says sounds stupid, but it's not the German accent.
So anyway, you're correct on that one. Lawrence Fishburne turns 57 today. He used to be a truck driver and didn't land his first acting job until he was 28.
BS.
That is BS. When he landed his first acting job?
Man, when he was like 15 or something.
He was a child actor. He's been doing movies since he was 12, so there's the buzz.
Oh, you schmuck. I got that right.
His first role was on the soap opera One Life to Live from 73 to 76. Lisa Kudrow is 55 today. Before Friends, she was on Cheers.
Before Friends, she was on Cheers. Yes.
Yes, she was. She was in a 1989 episode called Two Girls for Every Boyd, and she had dark brown hair in it. Terry Crews from Brooklyn 99.
Don't know her or it.
And The Expendables turns 50 today.
Is that a he or she?
He plays the flute.
Yes.
Yes, he does. He shows off his skills on The Late Show with James Corden, the one show nobody watches. Oh, I take it back. One of about 5 late night shows nobody watches. And he did it a couple of years ago. And Sly's younger brother, Frank Stallone, turned 68 today. His biggest hit was Eye of the Tiger in 1982.
BS.
That is BS. Who did the Eye of the Tiger?
Survivor.
That's right. Frank's biggest hit was Far From Over. It hit number 10 on the charts in 1983 after it was in the movie Staying Alive.
I was just going to say that, and you interrupted me, so I couldn't say it.
Well, you better get it out quicker, son. It's only an 2-hour show. Okay. Didn't do terrible on that.
Didn't do terrible.
We'll make you look stupid here in just a minute.
Oh, I do that
Give me
just
time.
fine all by myself. Thank you very little.
All right, rim shots this morning.
By the way, Steve, it is currently 68 in Moose Lake, Manitoba. High of 70 today.
Like we care.
Well, of course we care. We got somebody listening up there.
Arnold Schwarzenegger turned 71 today. He'll celebrate quietly. I only care about the person listening.
Oh.
Not the weather around him.
All right.
What'd you say the high was?
70.
It's better than here.
Only by, a lot.
25 degrees. Arnold Schwarzenegger turned 71 today. He'll celebrate quietly alongside his friends and families.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Carrie Fisher and Billy D. Williams will star in the next Star Wars movie, so someone who's dead and someone who may as well be. Kelsey Grammer.
There's another Star Wars movie coming?
Yeah. Kelsey Grammer says a Frasier reboot is in the works. I swear this guy made almost as much money pretending to be a medical professional as Dr. Phil did. CBS CEO Les Moonves is facing allegations of sexual misconduct. As a result, CBS may soon have Les Moonves. Let's see.
I see what you did there.
Let's see. He can molest women, and everybody stands up for him. CBS, I watched the CBS Evening News last night, and they brought it up. And then they play clips from all the people at CBS, and what a fine, upstanding man, and blah, 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 blah. But Roseanne tweets one line, and it's because she's a Trump supporter. And it's fire and brimstone coming at her.
His hypocrisy, assuming this is true, his hypocrisy, he set up some Hollywood deal that is chaired by the woman that accused Clarence Thomas of sexually harassing her. And, he was a big guy making all the statements about sexual harassment and protecting women. What a schmuck.
Kim and Kanye's daughter, Northwest, was booked for her first modeling job with Fendi. I hope I got the right name there. Or is it Fendi?
I don't know. I think it's Fendi.
Forbes has already decided she's a self-made millionaire. Oh, she has so much talent.
I thought North was a boy.
Barack and Michelle Obama were spotted dancing at Jay-Z. Might be a boy.
Well, you said her. It said her in there.
Okay. Barack and Michelle Obama were spotted dancing at Jay-Z's, Beyonce's concert. Roseanne had no comment because everyone around her had every single piece of computer equipment within the 7-mile radius hidden. Nancy Pelosi appeared on Jeopardy by video to present answers to a specific category. The category was people who can't blink.
You know, she said that she thought Valerie Jarrett was Jewish, and you know, Valerie Jarrett is very you can't look at her and say, oh, she's that or the other thing. She's pretty nondescript. She's not a translucent American like my legs show I am, but
NASA turned 60 years old, which explains why the probe they just launched is on a very important mission to find comfortable chairs. The world's oldest person, a 117-year-old Japanese woman, has died. Her last words, oh, thank God.
I thought her last words were, hey, Steve, play that song, Love Will Make You Happy.
By Mercy.
By Mercy.
One-hit wonder.
Because that's what I used to listen to when I was 18. But maybe, I guess that wasn't her last word.
Library activists in Pittsburgh reportedly stole $8 million worth of rare books. No word on what he did with the money, but considering he's a library activist with a passion for rare books, I think it's safe to rule out taking a girl on a date. Kind of like Matt.
What? Wait, what?
A new study shows chemicals in plastic food packaging can make your penis shrink. Which is devastating for men everywhere like Matt, but awesome news for Porsche dealers.
That would be Porsche.
Some say Porsche, some say Porsche.
That's somewhere right.
This person says Porsche.
Okay, well, you're in the wrong category then.
A friend of mine who owns a Porsche 911, and very proud of it, and it's a good-looking car, says Porsche. Now, here's a man who drives it and is a member of the local Porsche club.
Still too dumb to say the word right.
And well,
I'm kidding. You're not dumb. You're just ignorant.
A new survey found 52% of men have forgotten their wife or girlfriend's birthday. The other 48% have not been castrated yet. A Bulgarian man broke the world record for swimming in a sack. And in response, or I should say in the process, he broke the record for having way too much time on his hands.
Swimming in a sack? Do you have any idea what that means?
No. And a Philadelphia woman claims that there was poop in her cheesy bread she ordered from Domino's.
Oh, come on.
But in defense of Domino's, they say that the woman did order their #2 specials.
Oh, God.
There you go.
Oh, Steve.
All righty. It is, well, that's their words, not mine.
Who's the female comedian that became a talk show host? Lesbian woman.
Well, that's about half of them out there, so keep on going.
No, the one with the pretty woman, short haircut. Can't think of her name, though.
I can't either.
All right, well, when I'll think of it, I'll bring it up again.
Because she was in Playboy, too.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yes, she was. Did a spread on her. Had her on the cover.
Real? No.
Yeah. And if you go to any of her shows, she has those pictures displayed on the big screen behind her.
No. Not that one.
Well, you must be thinking of another nutcase. Oh, you're thinking of,
not
Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen. Yeah, she's married to an actor. What's her wife's name?
Portia de Rossi.
I'm sorry, what? Porsche de Rossi?
Portia.
Did you say Porsche?
She spells it with an I-A.
All right, anyway. Just saying.
And that's a good-looking woman.
They're both good-looking women.
That's one night with me, and she would come back.
Yeah, she would come back, yeah. A few pounds lighter. It's what happens with lots of throwing.
With a great big grin on her face.
Happens with lots of throwing up. A big grin on her face. Well, we could go there, too, couldn't we?
Oh, do you hear Paris Hilton is, in fact, I have sound.
Why, yes, I'm up on all the latest Paris Hilton news.
Yeah, let me find it right quick.
To her credit, she's quite a marketer.
Let's see. Well, of course, the moment I need it, I can't find it.
By the way, we have a German listener who's willing to come on the air and pronounce Porsche for you if you're interested.
Paris Hilton says she can't wait to have a baby. She's just got to work coming by my place into her schedule, but here's what she said.
I can't wait to have a baby. I'm going to be the best mom. Obviously, they're going to be dressed to the nines like you always. Well, they won't be wearing these kind of outfits, but a lot of pink, a lot of hearts, unicorns.
There you go.
You were talking about throwing up on your desk earlier. I can't wait to have a baby. I'm going to be the best mom. Not the pink and heart and unicorn.
All right, let's go chase some bad guys.
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to mutate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad treats, you go to school and learn to go.
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Straight across the floor like we own it in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up our closet doors, look at all 30 of our Liberty safes. Today we want to go to Liberty safe number... let's go to number 4.
4, we've been there a few times.
Open that bad boy up and let Matt reach in and grab the weapon of choice for today.
Well, I'm going to give you one you've had before and you'll like. This is a Colt Delta Elite. It's a full-size 1911 style 10 millimeter. Pretty big cartridge, and it's a semi-automatic pistol, nice looking gun.
All right, we'll throw it into the shoulder holster, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of Super Whoop Ass as we head out the door now in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1 this morning. This might be the dumbest identity theft case we've heard. There's a 51-year-old guy named Kevin Clayton from Arlington Heights, Illinois. And last December, he was taking a trip to Lake Delton, Wisconsin. Well, Kevin is a big fan of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball team, and he wanted to make sure he could catch one of those games while he was on his trip. So he researched a restaurant called Buffalo Phil's in Lake Delton. Figured out Charter Spectrum was their cable company. He called Charter 11 times, pretending to be an employee to upgrade the cable package to add the Pac-12 network. But he never bothered to call Charter back to cancel the Pac-12 network. So in February, the owner of Buffalo Phil's noticed a cable bill that was really high and started looking into it. Well, the police got involved, and after an investigation, they figured out what happened, and they just arrested Kevin last month for felony identity theft. He's looking up to 12 years in prison over a college basketball game. Stupid criminal news number 2 this morning. Teenagers today really do need to be connected to the internet at all times, no matter what they're doing, huh? On Sunday, a couple in their 60s in Palo Alto, California, Matt's old stomping grounds, got woken up in the middle of the night by a burglar in their house. He was a 17-year-old guy, and he cut through a screen to get in. And the reason he woke up the couple was he was out of data, and he wanted their Wi-Fi password. They just don't get any smarter in Palo Alto, do they? The couple called the police, chased him out of the house, and the police called him a few minutes later. And they connected him to another burglary in the night before. So, where he'd also ask people of the house for their password.
That worked once.
He didn't actually steal anything from either of the houses. He was on a stolen bike. So the police have him on 2 burglary charges and 1 theft.
Is it possible he was high? Is that possible?
No, he was just in a panic because he had no Wi-Fi. Now, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Monday.
I don't know if I was physically ever in Palo Alto.
I've been to Palo Alto.
It was your old stomping ground.
I visited there the morning of my second disaster.
And by disaster, you mean where you re-upped your Verizon contract? Or
wedding day.
Oh, my mistake.
Let me see. This is one story I wanted to get in for sure this morning. Let's see. There it is. Back up. All right. Guy, normally I hope for everyone's wife not to cheat on them, obviously. But this story really makes it seem like there's a big-time upside to it. There's a guy named Keith King in Durham, North Carolina. And 3 years ago, his wife, Danielle, had an affair with a guy named Francisco Huzar. Sounds like a cheating name, doesn't it?
It does.
Come away with me, baby. My name is Francisco Huzar. Oh, yes. Take me in your arms. Let me have an affair with you.
That was an uncanny likeness to a woman.
Well, North Carolina, thank goodness, is a handful of states that lets people sue over that. It's called alienation of affection. And you can sue someone if they destroy your marriage. Where they're playing around in areas that they got no business being in. Yeah, maybe.
That is a silly law.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You tell the woman, get a divorce, then play around.
The woman is not, the spouse is not the one that gets sued for alienation of affection, even though they should. The cheating spouse is the responsible one, not somebody else.
Well, a woman can be, you take a woman's husband away, then the woman can be sued. It works both ways.
Yeah, I understand that. What I'm saying is it's a silly law because...
It's not a silly law.
If you enter a contract and somebody else...
You got no business putting your hands on someone else's marriage, period.
That's fine. I'm just saying it's a silly law. You and I can agree to disagree on this. You sued the cheating spouse? Okay.
No. You sued the man who got into your marriage and messed it up. He had no business being in there. Like a man rummaging around in your garage, messing it up. Got no business being in there.
So you're saying a wife is property?
No, I'm saying the marriage is none of his business, and he should stay out of it.
Well, no argument. Nonetheless.
If you want to fool around, go get your divorce or separation agreement. And make sure the clauses in there is those separate and single.
See? That's the spouse.
Then you can do what you want to do. But until then, you got contractual obligations.
The spouse. Everything you're saying applies to the spouse.
You're married to the marriage.
Not to some external person.
Anyway, so last year, Keith filed a lawsuit against Francisco for seducing his wife.
What's his last name again? Francisco Baltazar.
We're going past that. It's just now Francisco.
My name is Francisco.
He got sued for seducing the man's wife and ruining their marriage and his life. Yeah, if he just stayed out of it, he wouldn't be dancing around in his head and everything else, and just had no business being there.
My name is Francisco, and I used to own a mansion and a yacht.
Well, he obviously had some pockets, because listen to the settlement. Man, even the husband even developed PTSD. And last week, a judge sided with Keith, the innocent husband, and awarded him $8.8 million from Francisco's account.
Ay caramba.
Francisco's attorney says they will be appealing. I got a picture of the wife.
Good-looking woman.
Yeah, she's all right. I don't know which one, Prince. I assume that's Francisco. That's the husband.
She's a good-looking woman. What's he do? Is he a singer? I look to you for these answers, Steve.
I don't know. It's not labeled as who's who. I guess that's just her. I don't know. The other two guys may have nothing to do with her. Oh, Keith's in the yellow hat, it says. All right. So he's the one with the singing. The husband.
Looks like he's singing.
Good for Keith. 8.8. What did I say? 8 point what? $8.8 million. Let's see, you cough that up, buddy. I hope she's worth it. What do you mean I'm not worth $8.8 million?
She doesn't look very old. How long were they married?
Doesn't say.
I look for you for these answers, Steve.
Doesn't say.
Alternatively, I look to you for these answers.
You ever forgot an important birthday?
Only probably every month.
Let's see. What do I want to do first? Let's do this first.
Wait.
Today's impossible question. This happens about every 3 minutes, and you may not even know it. It happens to you and me and everybody else in this electronic world. That's your clue.
In this electronic world, we get a text.
Nope, your smartphone tracks you. From a Did You Know category. It costs about $170 a year in electricity to power your flat-screen TV, but only about $3 a year to power your radio.
Again, reason why you should be listening to WEEB and not some silly show.
40% of women admit to having thrown a shoe at someone when they were really angry. The average person touches their nose 5 times an hour without realizing it.
Hence transmission of rhinovirus and other things.
And snot.
I thought it was water, but...
Dried snot on the chair or wherever you put your hands.
Oh, thank you.
A recent study finds that books are the most borrowed item in America, followed by jumper cables and then scissors. 1 in 5 married women say their engagement or wedding ring is the #1 thing they would change in their lives.
Do you believe for a moment that jumper cables are more often borrowed than scissors? I don't.
And in a recent survey, people said that cracking knuckles is the most annoying personal bad habit. All right, so it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget millions of Americans. They have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsey with a quote from Jesus in Luke 12:48. Before I get to the quote, I say this applies whether you're a military leader, an elected official, or a police officer running into a bicycle. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. Stay tuned for Chris Plant. Join the conversation and like us at facebook.com/WEEB990, and we will be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
When I come back, you'd better be laughing.